What's going on, everyone? Aaron here from Happy Hydro. I am out of retirement and back in the studio, and for good reasons. I finally got my hands on the Controller AI Plus from AC Infinity. I'm your run-of-the-mill caveman, and technology really scares me. But what I found out is using this AI controller, it's taken a lot of the worries of gardening and growing out of things, and just giving me more confidence to work with my plants. And what's really cool is that not only does it learn what plants you have, but also the environment in which you're growing in, and all of the details in between. Let's go take a look, see how this controller can improve your grow. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and be sure to comment anything down below you think about this AI controller. And of course, stop by happyhydro.com to get all of your indoor gardening supplies. Whoa, well, looky here. We finally got our hands on the AC Infinity Controller AI Plus, and I am stoked to get into this new system. You know, I'm not the most technologically savvy guy, but the other Controller 69 made it so easy to reel in my grow. I cannot imagine what I'm possibly going to be able to do with this AI controller. You know, before it was easy to automate my grow. What's even cooler is that this controller can pretty much manage anything you throw at it. It's super adaptable. It's got a ton of different ways that you can even hook up non-AC Infinity products to it, and it's still gonna keep them all in line. Well, what the heck are we waiting for? Let's get on in there and see what it looks like. Dang, look at this bad boy. So right off the jump, you can see it's got that, familiar AC Infinity look right off the bat. It looks a little different from some of their other controllers, but that's, kind of expected. So we'll see more when we turn it on, but it looks like there's more inside. So I'm just gonna keep on digging and see what else they packed in this box. Ooh, nice little insert. All right. So it looks like it comes with your bare necessities. I'm looking at, looks like a AC plug adapter, some mounting assist stuff, and then your probe. So yeah, your mounting assist stuff, your temperature probe, humidity probe, and this one actually plugs into the wall. So I think the other ones, pretty sure the other one's just plugged into any product and that would charge it, but this must be a lot more heavy duty, so it needs its own dedicated power plug, which is cool because I don't have to worry about something failing and then, shutting it off or anything. It's plugged right into the wall. A little bit different, like I said, familiar feel, but I noticed there's a little doodad hanging off the side there. And I'll get into that a little later because that's gonna be a clutch new piece to this brand new system. I mean, come on, look at all these different portholes that you can, ports. Look at all these ports that you can fit an incredible amount of gadgets into your grow to make sure that your environment is tip top. There is no stone left unturned when making sure that your plants are super happy. And this little thing on the side is what I was talking about before. Now, not only does it have an internal temperature and humidity probe, it has an external temperature and humidity probe, which is going to help this AI controller tweak your environment so that it's playing off of your lung room or your external tent environment as well. So, moving along, we have a quick little book. It's really helpful, actually. It's got a quick setup. It's got some, integral notes in there for you, and even little tidbits on how to get into it. When you get your own controller, I would recommend giving it a read. I'm just gonna kind of have it to the side for now, but I just want you to know it's in there as a nice little reference point for you. Oh my God, all right, I gotta plug this in now. Hurry. Oh yeah. And I know there's a ton of ports on there, but they're all pretty well marked on what they're for, whether it's a gadget port, a probe port, or the power port, in which we're looking at now. And this is a face of true excitement, because I am so ready to get into this Controller AI Plus. And kind of like the Controller 69, you can use the settings to cycle through some of the different modes that come with that controller, whether it's a schedule mode, an auto mode, or even a cycle that you want to work on. You can do this all from the controller, and it is still pretty simple if you're familiar with that system. If not, read that little book, you'll get it caught up to speed, or check out our Controller 69 video. And of course, you could still calibrate your controller to make sure you are tuned into that environment. And I'm just going to keep cycling through this. You can also change the display on it, not necessarily the layout, but primarily how bright or dim it is, depending if you're one of those night owls or you are blind as a bat and need help seeing. But I'm just going to change the time on it real quick. This way everything is synced up and it's working like it should. Well, I have it timed up to the time we're in, and I have the display at pretty much where I want it to help me see it. So right now, we're just gonna get into the app and see what it looks like from inside your phone. Well, let's go take a look. So I went on my phone and I opened up the app, and here we are, being welcomed to the future. And this is pretty much what it's going to look like if you're opening the app for the first time with your controller AI. It kind of just goes through what it's capable of, what you can expect from it, and how it will help you tune in your grow. And it's really cool, really intuitive, and it just kind of gives you a first glimpse of what you can expect. Also, something else that's really cool is it's going to introduce you to Aura, which is their AI assistant, and it's built into the app, and it's pretty much like an AI chatbot. So if you have any questions on the fly, you can ask it almost anything. And so this is a test tent from my old tent. It looks like it's still plugged in somewhere in the warehouse, but I am going to go ahead and get connected to this brand new controller AI. Super easy, instructions are on there, and right now we're just gonna pair them using Bluetooth. So they should start talking to each other. Yup, there we go. And now that they're talking to each other, I'm gonna go ahead and get it on Wi-Fi. And I'm not gonna give out my Wi-Fi password again. I definitely learned my lesson. So here we are, we have them both synced up to the Wi-Fi. You're gonna want it on the 2G and not the 5G. And there we go. You can see it's registering as a new device, which is really cool. And now it's time to get some of our gadgets in there. And I pretty much have a light, a ventilation system, a circulating fan, and a humidifier. And like I said, it's got tons of ports in here, which is gonna help us get everything together. But we got some stuff to plug in first before we can start controlling this tent. So I'm just gonna slink out a frame here, and there we go. So first we have the temperature and humidity probe. If you guys are familiar with the other controllers from AC Infinity, you know, that's just gonna plug right into your probe spot, and that's going to give you the base reading of your temperature and humidity. This helps with, you know, finding VPD or even setting some automatic parameters, environmental parameters for your tent. So we got that plugged in, and it's going to work with that external probe, yep, right there, and that's going to give you two types of readings, one inside your tent and outside your tent. And I am not using an AC Infinity light, but it's a really good opportunity to show you that you can just get an adapter and plug in any off-brand light, but still get that control from your AC Infinity controller. I just have a Phantom 2x4 light in here. Yep, and it's super easy to connect to any off-brand light. You know, I always do recommend an AC Infinity light. It just makes the process a little more streamlined, but for the most part, you can connect to any light pretty much. The only two things you're gonna have to make sure is that there is a little area that looks kind of like a old phone jack. Yep, we're gonna take that from our adapter kit, and we're gonna plug that into that little headphone jack. And the other thing is, you're going to make sure that knob or other settings on your light are set to EXT or external. And that's going to tell the light that you're controlling it not from the knob or the dial on it, but from an external controller. All right, well, we got that all hooked up in the tent side. So now it's time to plug it into our controller, and I'm just gonna pop, I know there's so many ports to pick from, it's crazy. I think I'm just gonna start off nice and easy, and I'm gonna put my light in port number 1. I do try my best to remember what I'm plugging into where, but when you get into it a little deeper, in the app especially, you can tell just by the settings, it knows what's in what port, whether it's a humidifier, a light, or a ventilation system. Like I said, I still have a couple more gadgets to plug in, primarily the humidifier, my inline fan, and my circulating fan. And what's crazy is I still have ports left over, which is wild. You know, it's not fighting for space like the power strip behind your TV. You know, you have tons of opportunities to get more into this grow environment. Well, I am fully plugged in, I'm ready to go, and you see they're registering on the app now, and we're just going to take a little deep dive into what you can expect when working in the app and how it looks on your controller. Well, here we are. We saw a little glimpse earlier of what it looked like, but this is pretty much a side-by-side of the readings we're getting from inside the tent, outside the tent, what our gadgets are set at, and just at a quick glance on the controller, what that looks like as well. Welcome to your AI app. Now this app is super intuitive and it's really easy to get going right off the bat. So when you open it up, it's asking you whether you want to start your AI grow or you're going to use your own customized grow. So if you're a newer grower, I would recommend the AI grow, but if you've been around the block a couple times and you know what settings you're looking for, feel free to use your own customizable way. And what's really cool is as soon as we start going, it wants to know what we're growing. Whether it's fruits and vegetables or other fun stuff that you want to grow in your house, it has an idea of where it's going to go based on what you want to grow. So, as we continue down this startup process, we go on to the next part, which is selecting your growing stage. And this is really cool because not only are we looking at the plant we're growing, it wants to know even more, like where we are in that grow. You don't always get stuff from seeds. Sometimes you get something from a store that's already, well in its vegetative stage. So with this, you're pretty much able to pinpoint the place that you want to start your grow at, which is really cool because it makes it even more customizable. Well, continuing along, we are just double checking our devices and our sensors. So with the UIS devices that I do have plugged in, it shows you what I have plugged into what port. And like I said, it's pretty much just my grow light, the humidifier, and my two ventilation gadgets, which are my inline fan and my circulating fan. And now I don't have any outlet devices or sensors, but something tells me I'm going to have a special sensor coming soon, so keep your eyes peeled in the future. So here we are, the second last stage of the setup process, just double checking our settings, making sure our sensors are reading the climate inside and outside in the two different zones, and that all my ports are working. And here we are, pretty much the last and final stage. This is the review part of everything that we've put in, all the information it's spitting out at us, and just kind of like a final look over to make sure that everything's in there, everything's working properly, and that I agree with kind of the direction that we want to go with. Like I said, it is super customizable, so you can change some things around, but for the most part, it's got a good head on its shoulders, and it puts you in the right direction. So the only thing left now is to hit start and see everything that this is capable of. And presto, we are there. Oh, wait, it's just letting us know a couple more tidbits before we keep going. It's just showing us that we have, what it's going to look like and some of the details it shows us, what it's doing on in the background, and just kind of how it's going to present data to us as well. Because not only does it gather data from inside the tent, it gathers a bunch of data from outside the tent and learns how to use those things together. One of the cool things is that, if it notices that it's more beneficial to run your light at night so that you use less heating, it will do that, and it will run in a way that works with your environment and with you. So that's really cool. Well, here we are. We finally made it. This is kind of like your dashboard view of what you can expect to see. It gives you a toggle between temperature and humidity with, just kind of letting you know where you are in that range and how good you're sitting. This one seems to be ideal. It's in our range between 70 and 80 degrees, and we can see kind of like an up-to-date ticker coming through there minute by minute, telling you what devices are activating, how long they're going for, what increment they're hitting, and all that stuff to make sure that you know by the minute what is going on in your grow. And right now it looks like we have some ventilation and humidifying going on to get us in a ideal range for our vegetative grow. Here's another cool little part. It has some AI insights, and I haven't had this system running for long enough to gather enough information, but it also gives you just kind of like an overview of what to expect from a vegetative stage, which is really cool because, you know, some of us are visual learners and we can scour the internet for hours, days looking for the right information. And, you know, right here, it's using the information from your grow and just information from these, you know, whatever plant you're growing in general. Well, I might as well keep exploring, and there are some toggle buttons down at the bottom that just gets you to different areas within your AI controller app. For the first one, it brings you to your classic controller view where, you know, if you turned off the AI mode, you would be able to go into each port and control it individually. Or if you have any automations set up, that's where you could get to that tab instead of using that AI side. Here we are right back in our AI mode, and then moving on to the next one. This is our charts and graphs. It kind of keeps a log so that you're able to see, you know, maybe overnight the fluctuations in temperature or humidity, even VPD. And it keeps a running log for you, which is really cool because, you know, sometimes you just want to know what's going on and what these levels are looking like and how things work together. And it does a really good job of, you know, color coding it, making it easy to read, and really giving you some deep, detailed information about your grow. Not only is it information about your grow, but each individual metric you can see, which is really cool because it's so tough to kind of split things up and, you know, understand what you need more of or even less of without seeing it, you know, visually. And this is a really cool opportunity to kind of get those background details. So here I am back at the AI side, and it is so much fun just kind of poking around, seeing how my environment is in real time, knowing that it's an ideal place for my plants to live is so cool. It's incredible. Like, I feel so much more confident growing in here. And you know what the coolest part is, if I don't feel confident about something, or I need some clarification or just a deeper understanding, the controller AI Plus comes with that built-in AI chatbot. Her name is Ara, and she is a lifesaver. You know, like I said, if you're ever just tired of looking up all different types of information on how to take care of your plants, you can totally rest easy a little bit because of the AI chatbot built right into your controller AI Plus. And this is going to be in that little AI bubble at the top right-hand side. And this is Ara. She is a lifesaver. You know, for the quick one, I just did one of the prompts that they had set up there, which was how do I set up my inline fan? And boom, right there, you are able to get some real insight information on what a good practice method is for installing that inline fan. So to really find out what she's capable of, I had to ask her some hard-hitting questions. This one happened to be, what's the best song to sing to my plants? And I wasn't expecting, you know, much, but what I got was honestly incredible and a lot of fun. And I couldn't agree more. She's got some good insights, so I'm gonna trust this one and write her off as a good egg. And the last little tab we haven't gotten into yet is right down there in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see it with all those red notifications on there. That's pretty much just like your log. It is gonna tell you all the little updates, the minute-by-minute things that it's doing and changing and learning and stuff like that. And just so you can kind of see where it's going, what it's thinking, and you know, just kind of what's going on in your grow. And it'll just keep popping up notifications. I'm sure there's a way to turn them off. I just haven't figured it out yet, but it's good to know because it keeps you up to date and informed. Well, there you go. That's pretty much a basic rundown of the startup process for your AI Plus controller. Here you go. Everything's reading. You got your inside temps, you got your outside temps. All my ports are on and working. So it's been a really cool, fun time. What I did notice is some things that popped up that I obviously have some opinions on. One of them I may have mentioned earlier was the ventilation thing, where it's reading my ventilation system and my circulating fan as just the same ventilation system, so they run on the same schedule.
So my preference is to leave that circulating fan on pretty much all the time. So either there has to be a way to differentiate those two, or I just may unplug my circulating fan from the controller system, plug it right into the wall so it's just running nonstop without having to do any more fine tuning or anything like that. Other than that, there isn't really much that I've come across that seems to be a huge issue or anything. You know, the pros really outweigh the cons in this one because, like I said, it just makes your grow so much more fun. It feels like you have someone in there working with you, you can bounce ideas off of, and you're not just stressed out all the time. You're actually able to grow your plants and enjoy it rather than just sitting there scratching your head figuring out what the heck is going on. Well, hopefully you're still sticking around even though we got the most of the meat potatoes done. Here it is, just kind of customizing it a little bit more. You know, I want to make sure that I'm able to identify quickly that I'm in the right tent. You know, if you have a couple different tents going on the same app. So I'm just going to rename this one Clone Run. And also from this page, you're able to really just work that grow more for you. You know, whether it's recalibrating, whether it's, you know, adjusting, fine tuning, any of the port devices that you're using, really makes it easy to do those things and not, you know, go to the controller, wait for it to happen, see it turning on, see it turning off. You know, here you can have a lot of confidence and a lot of support on making sure this grow is running smoothly and tuned into the best possible way that you know how. And I mean, there's so much to it. Here's a quick glimpse of that dynamic grow light where the AI just determines when the best time to have that grow light is on. So that's something that is outside of my even realm of comprehension sometimes, because there's so much going on in my life that I can't think about when my light should be on. This is cool that it just kind of pretty much tells you how and why. And thank goodness I have this AI controller on, because it hasn't even been a full 24 hours and I'm already messing up. I see here that I got an alert right to my Apple Watch that is telling me that my humidifier had run out of water, and I wasn't able to come back and fill it up, but it's really cool because it's letting you know in real time, like, hey, something's going on here, dog, and you got to figure this out. And you can see the exact time of when I was unable to get back and put water in that humidifier. You see that difference in the, obviously that anomaly. Well, that part's overnight, but as soon as it drops off, bam, right there, you can see. And you can really see how my humidity tanked at around that time that I got the alert for it. And that's on me, you know, but hey, at least we know, and it's doing its job of telling us that we got to get back to this grow and fix whatever's going on. So that's really cool to have in our back pocket.
It's incredible at what it's able to do, not only in real time, but like premeditatively adapting your environment to suit those plants the best way possible. Drop a comment down below what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of. And of course, until next time, stay happy, friends.